Okay, this is part 2 of the video I made about why I no longer call myself a feminist. My battery got cut off. This happens to me quite a bit. I'm still not that good at making videos. That's okay. This is an important topic. Identity politics are basically the modern day divide and conquer. Maybe not modern day. You know, maybe this has been going on forever. I mean, let's think about Second World War. The nationalist feelings and sentiments that the Germans had was fueled and basically made to grow into this big fire and against the Jewish people. So we have same humans. We're human. We are the same in that respect, that we have the same souls. The only difference in us, well, besides our personal experiences, are this outer layer, the vehicle that's a body. Our souls are all cut from the same material. They're divine. And to identify ourselves by our bodies, by how we look, or by the thoughts and beliefs that we have, it just makes it that much easier to control us. I'm not going to put the whole fault and blame on humanity, because we have been traumatized over centuries, thousands of years of colonization and war. This has led to a fracturing of our personalities and a fracturing of our minds. And we've become quite easy to control because we've been so traumatized and so beaten down. And in our modern day, you know, we have these illusions, these material illusions of having a home or a car or a nice job, or all these things that we can pretend are who we are, but they're not who we are at all. And I called myself a feminist because it felt good to my ego. It felt good to feel I was standing for something, that I was being somebody important, and that I felt superior. And I think that one of the things that's very difficult for humans to do is to admit when we're wrong, or when we've made a mistake, or we've gotten information that perhaps is leading us to the slaughterhouse instead of to someplace divine, right? So yeah, I mean, we resist, even though when we know we are maybe wrong or misguided, we resist admitting it because nobody wants to be seen as wrong or ignorant. And so therefore we hide behind these labels and call others ignorant if they don't believe what we believe. This is challenging because people, especially now in this climate, we have a lot of anger. We are angry. We are angry because of everything that we've been through, not just in our lives, but in our ancestors' lives, and all of the trauma that our ancestors have been through. And this is every race and every gender and every country. We have experienced war and misery. I got a little off track. I'm sorry. Sometimes that happens when I start to think about what we've been through as humans. I just think that it's time that we move beyond the labels and that we start to come together for reals as one species, one human species, and we collect ourselves and we love ourselves, and we stop putting each other down, and we stop putting men down, and we stop putting women down, and we stop making an enemy, and we stop being victims. I don't call myself a feminist anymore because I don't want to limit myself with a label like that. When I was younger, I thought that calling myself a woman was somehow limiting myself, because I felt, hey buddy, love you. That's my dog Ming. He's just looking at what I'm doing. He looks like such a creature. Look at him. He's so funny looking. It's like a little Ewok. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that all of us, especially now millennials, we do often feel like we're a mixture of genders or a mixture of sexualities. There's a couple of reasons for that, past life stuff. Maybe we were a woman too many times and we're not comfortable in a man's body, or vice versa. We also have all the chemicals that we are ingesting, all the plastics, the phytoestrogens. They are messing with our testosterone and estrogen levels. And so they're making us feel sometimes like blended beings. And we also have, many of us are, having a blend of sexualities too. This is how our generation is, and we need to learn to be okay with that. I'm not at all suggesting that we don't embrace who we are as people, but I think making a whole political identity around how we feel inside and then forcing others to go along with how we feel inside, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate, and it's irresponsible to our kids, because it's teaching our children that to make demands on others. Like if they feel one way inside, then demanding that the rest of society calls them a certain way, or else they're not going to be okay. I don't know. There's something about that just doesn't sit well when you're trying to heal. Blaming others or forcing others to agree with you about how you identify yourself. But anyway, that's why I no longer call myself a feminist. I don't believe that identity politics is doing any of us a service. All I see around me is conflict and anger, and I do believe anger is justified. It's healthy, and we have a lot to be angry for, but not at each other. Not at each other, brothers and sisters. We should direct that anger at the people who've been controlling us for thousands of years, and not by protesting, but by just simply no longer participating in their control methods. We just need to come back to loving one another and loving our animals, brothers and sisters. Thanks for listening.